now.
It's Wednesday, my dudes. It's Wednesday, my dudes.
Great.
It's Wednesday, my dudes. It's Wednesday, my dudes.
Next.
It's Wednesday, my dudes. It is.
It's Wednesday, my dudes?
It's Wednesday, my dudes.
It's Wednesday, my dudes?
It's
Wednesday, my dudes.
As if she's still changing.
It's Wednesday, my dudes.
Okay.
Cut! Next. You look like the guy, you don't sound like him. This is how you do it. Spotlight. It's Wednesday, my dudes. Cut! That was
Got to take ourselves off mute.
You're right. Absolutely right.
It's weird. I'm still not seeing the videos when we play, but let's hope we don't have any issues like we did last week. So anyway, it is Wednesday, my dudes, and special thank you to everybody who jumped in and helped us out with that video, especially Figure Report, who killed it. Acting chops on that guy.
Killed it.
Magnifique.
That guy who was trying to play you, though, before him, I don't know what he was thinking.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
Especially not when you got that quality in that room. It's
exactly
what it boils down to.
Exactly.
Oh. But it is Wednesday, my dudes, and welcome to episode 52 of Between Two Sentinels. We are super excited tonight. We've got the Geek Effect with us. So we're gonna chat with him in a little bit. We'll talk to him about being a toy tuber, his infamous top 10 lists, and just general geeking out and toys and community and collecting and all that fun stuff. But before we get into that, Machu, how are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
A little tired. J Shot brought a buddy to work the last 2 days.
Let's bring a friend to work day.
Yeah. Got some stuff in, and some stuff was waiting for me when I got home. I don't know where the boxes are. Oh, right by my feet. First, remember that stream that we were on with on the Infinity Equation when we were talking about that Aquaman seahorse?
Yes, I remember.
You remember, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure I had a visceral reaction to you wanting the seahorse, and first off, perfect. But let's give you the proper due here. I will say I will take it all back. That thing is majestic as hell. So yeah. However, it does look better with the comic style Aquaman on it than I would.
I do like yeah. Well, because I'm going more for a comic style shelf for my DC line,
right?
So that's why I swapped the head out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that is a DC. What is it? DCEU.
Yes, this is a DCEU Aquaman body. And I put the original comic book head on there.
Nice.
And I think it looks good. It looks badass.
No, it does look good.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
And then well, hold on. Let me bring this down.
Bye.
I didn't think this through. I have too many things blocking me. But I took that and I took that Aquaman head and I put it on my Valiant Knight, which I've been working on.
Oh. You bring it back up. You could just. that actually works really well too.
Yeah.
Nice. So not only kit bashing between different lines there. So
between different lines, and I should have practiced this because now I feel like a little kid at the table. A bunch of other stuff came in. I got the PVC Bake Shop Scarlet Spider head, and I don't know where I put my Scarlet Spider actually. So there's that. But come on, focus.
What is it that No Chewing says? You got to say boop.
Boop.
There it is. There it is.
So it's more of the game style.
Yeah, I like that red.
I wish I knew where the figure.
Yeah.
And then, since I've been on a wrestling kick, Kurt Angle.
Nice. You have been on a wrestling kick.
And then, going back to the Four Horsemen.
Oh, it came today?
It came today.
I missed it, and I am bummed for sure that I missed that one.
You know what? You know what's funny is that like I've been the last two pickups. I've been like, should I get J Shot? I want just in case he misses it. And those times I said, I think he's got it covered. And was I wrong? Both times.
It's okay. That's all right. I'm sure I can find either they'll do another drop of Jacob or I'll be able to find it. But the Kino was the only one. I didn't turtle hard enough. That day. Oh. I got two things in, which we'll switch here real quick. I got a lovely package here from our good friend Ninja Toidles, which is always exciting because he sent over a bunch of new pins. And actually some old ones too. He was doing like a closet clean out. Gonna try not to drop any. Show off with just a couple. He did these new communicator ones, which are pretty cool. And actually, these are fun. He's doing part of the Imposter series there. We got April running kind of like in a Super Mario way, and then the cereal bowl from back in the day. Let me hold on. Take them out of the plastic. Maybe that will help. You're still muted, Machu.
I said, yeah. And
There
those
you go.
look dope.
There you go. There's that one. Something just fell.
Bank
actually-
accounts.
Yeah. And then he sent over. He was doing like I said, he was doing a clean out. So this is one of the retro big ones that he did a while back, which I'm really
nice.
Yeah. So I got these guys, and then Bebop and Rocksteady on that as well, and a whole bunch more. And then,
what else you got? What else you got?
And you dropped off this box, which I'm going to cover here because there was only one thing I could do with this box, and that is put on this sticker, as I now have a Jamiroquai figure.
You must open it.
Do I open it tonight? Do I open it on a separate stream?
You open it
Does this
tonight.
warrant open it tonight? All right. Well, as we keep going, I certainly don't need to be full screen. As we keep going tonight, I will
Come here.
casually open Jamiroquai. So
Yes.
let's,
We've been neglecting our chat before we.
Yeah.
I know he's been waiting, but like
he's
we got to say
waiting.
hi to the peoples.
Well, you got to start. So hit it right away because Toy Rensu hits us with
Sup, Noids?
Sup, Noids? Dom asking who's pre-ordering a bunch of reindeer. We should certainly talk about that. Rumble Toys is in the house saying, "What's up?" There you go. The man, the myth, the legend, the figure report. Paul Morales is here. Let's see. You got the Lethal Collector.
Oh, hey.
Man, Beast Boy. Hot Take. What does it say?
Hot Take Special.
Let's go. The mayor is checking in with us. The toy mayor. Toy Father is here, who of course will be on TPC and TPC Top 10, the Toy Daddies.
Mhm.
We start,
And they have a special guest tonight, right?
Oh, who's this? Who's the special guest tonight?
I believe they do. I don't know. It's a blur.
It's all a blur.
It's a blur.
It's all a blur. put in the chat because we've totally forgotten. So toying around, hitting us with a hello there. I don't know if you guys watched any of his stuff from when Kevin came back from Japan, right? Japan? It was Japan?
Yeah, from Japan.
Yeah. But he's enabling me pretty hard to want to go out there for sure.
Make that trip. I feel like, yeah, we need to do that.
Yeah. Let's see. Ooh, what is this one? Hero HQ Hobby Hour? There you go.
Very good. Very good.
Ah, look, I read. Ghost Dog is here. Did I mention Henrock? The hero Henrock? Who
He
else?
was recently on Chatmigos yesterday.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go back. I'm gonna have to be part of the replay crew on that.
Mhm.
Berserk, who will always be and forever first
In our hearts.
Thanos Copter saying, "Hey everybody, Toy Mirth is here." Wow, everybody's sounding off in the chat today.
Yeah.
Oh, Yoko, hello friends.
Hello, Yoko.
Action Figure Neverland saying they might have the Jacobs Toy-Con New
Jacob
Jersey
at
going.
Toy-Con. Yeah.
Oh, Jake. Oh, good call.
Yeah.
Unworthy Collector is here.
What up?
That's a lot of nuts. Toy Father and I have been going back and forth with Kung Pao quotes all week. Nose Rain is on tonight. That's who is. So there you go. All right, I think that's everybody in the chat. And we do couple quick things we want to make sure we mention is super hats. Of course, always appreciated. If you have anything you want to talk to Geek Effect about or have us talk about, make sure you hit that. But we will be donating all super hats for the month of December to charity. So we want to make sure that we give back the same way that you guys give to us. That we're always kind of putting it back into the community. So thank you very much. Never expected, always appreciated. But we will be donating all super hats for December. And also we have a Chubsy Wubsy discount code for 15% off. It is B2S15, and that is good, I believe, online
All
and
month.
in person. And it will run all month. So when you get that Christmas money, feel free to, save 15% there. I think that's it. I think that was all the things we were supposed to talk about before we brought in our guest.
Yes.
Should we just bring him in?
Let's go.
All right. What's up, Kirk?
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up?
How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Super. No real complaints. So
That's good to hear.
well, obviously, welcome, man. Welcome. We're really excited to have you.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Oh, dude, our pleasure. But yeah, man, like definitely want to dive into how you got started, your collection, things like that. Got a bunch of questions for you, and we might even throw in a little sneaky review, roundup type of thing.
Okay.
But I have this note that says one of the biggest influences, especially in terms of your movie selections, is from your mom. Is that true?
Yes, that is true.
Okay. Talk a little about, expand on that.
So a lot of the movies that I've grown up watching were introduced to me by my mom. So like a lot of older stuff, that's where I get like a lot of my passion for that. So like anything from the 80s, 90s, that's like my cup of tea, especially like TV show wise.
Okay.
So Back to the Future, I'm a big Steven Spielberg fan. I like a lot of his movies. Tom Hanks is also one of my other favorite like actors. And then just like anything when it comes to like a lot of sci-fi and like anthology stuff, like those types of shows, like I really dig those, like because those are other shows that she used to let me watch as well. So
nice. All right. I mean, you mentioned Back to the Future, but what are some of the TV shows that you really jumped into?
So Twilight Zone, Alfred Hitchcock Presents is another one of my favorites. And then recently, I actually just started this because I didn't hear about this until I think maybe a week or two ago. There's another anthology show called Monsters. It's actually pretty interesting, and I just came across it on I think it's on Tubi. I've been watching it. So
interesting. Okay. Don't know Monsters. The Hitchcock Presents were great.
Yeah.
I don't know what Tubi is.
Oh, Tubi is like a.
It's like it's like a streaming thing, but it's basically free. Like a bunch of content on there for free. Just ads in between.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You're embarrassing us in front of a young kid.
I know, but he's got more of older taste than I do. He said Twilight Zone.
He did say Twilight Zone.
I get that a lot, though. I get that a lot. It's like
Yeah.
I start talking to people, and they're like, especially like my younger friends, and they're like, I haven't watched that. And it's like, I think you were born in the wrong decade. I think you need to go back because it's just you're not. It's not working for you. It's not working.
Yeah, there is certainly a sense of maturity that you have and that you carry yourself with, which is awesome, man. Like so, but I'm sure I feel like throughout all tonight's conversation, I'm going to feel super old. But first off, I want to thank Toy Father for his $4.99 super hat. That's awesome, guys. You guys showing the true giving spirit. Appreciate that. Smash that like and hi, Kirk.
Hey.
So, yes, please like, share, comment. Always appreciate that. And it helps us out. All right, we'll take you out of the hot seat there. And I love that you're jumping into 80 movies. I mean, you mentioned Back to the Future and Spielberg, but like, give me your favorite comedy.
Favorite comedy. That's a good one. Let's see. Favorite comedy. I would say. This is a tough one. I don't think I have a favorite. I have a lot that I like. The first one that came to mind, I would say Weird Science is the first one that came to mind.
Wow.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Weird Science is good. The song is great too. I love the song as well.
Yeah.
Wow. Love that.
That's a really deep cut there with the.
Yeah. That is a deep cut. I was gonna say such a deep cut. I have no transition, so we're gonna say, "What's up, Winger Lose?" NRG. Thanks for stopping by. So, so let's jump in a little bit. I mean, obviously, you got your. I would say your main following is probably on YouTube.
Yeah.
What I could find out again, if I did my research correctly, it looks like you started mid 2021.
Correct.
Yeah. Which, dude, you have been putting in the work. Like,
yeah.
The fact that you started in 21, you've grown the channel to where you are, the consistency that you put out, like it's really, really impressive. Like,
and the quality.
Yeah, dude.
Mind blowing.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
I promise there won't be that many awkward pauses. But so all right, so take us back to April 2021. What pushed you to get started?
So it started. So actually, before I started like getting into the whole figure thing, there was, I think there was maybe either one or two launches of the Geek Effect. I used to own a Lego channel, or I say used to. I still own it. I just don't post on it. But I originally started off on YouTube making Lego content, so like building my own creations and stuff. A lot of it were let's see, like Marvel stuff, different like interior designs of like houses and just like own like kind of creative ideas that I had. And then eventually, I think it was toward, I don't remember which year this happened, but it was with YouTube, and we had the whole COPPA thing that took place, and it was like basically like kids content. It was like everyone was like trying to scrounge like to figure out like, well, how are we supposed to make content on this Lego stuff if it's aimed towards children? Right. And so that's kind of what led me to like, okay, let me see what I could do else, because I really do enjoy like making content on YouTube. I want to be able to still like progress with that. So it's like, what else could I do? So the first idea was, I'll make a new channel, and I'll talk about something else that I like talking about. So I thought at first that was going to be like random like movies, again, like stuff from the 80s and stuff like that. I would do like discussions on that, and maybe like some other stuff like throwing in like here and there. Like I think at one point I did a review of I think it was a Sega Genesis Mini that they had made, which had like different games and stuff on there. So I did a review of that, and then just some other stuff. But I was like, I don't think this is it. I think there's something else. I'm just not figuring out what it is yet. And then eventually I was talking with one of my friends, Jeff McElvey, who's also like a part of this community and like just a bunch of other communities, because he's like a big geek, as we all are. So he said, I think one thing you should really try is like getting into action figures, like making reviews or whatever you want in regards to that, like be a part of that community, because I really think you have something awesome to offer. I was like, you know what, I'll give it a shot. So that's what then started the rabbit hole of like collecting action figures, because I haven't had action figures since I was like a kid. Like I had like the certain ones that I would collect for the most part, and then like all that stuff kind of like got lost over time and switched hobbies and stuff like that. But I think the first one I picked up was the retro card Peter Parker from Wave 1 of Marvel Legends. And then it later, I think the next one was like Dazzler. And then at one point I saw GameStop had Punisher, the 80th anniversary one, and just kind of went downhill from there with some more stuff. And then that's when I was like, okay, I'm liking this. It's also going to be a very big addiction. I can tell this is how this is going to go, just how it is with Lego. And then eventually, I think the first video I did was on Punisher. And then eventually it went into like a lot of the Spider-Man stuff. So I think I did a review on the Spider-Man from Wave 1 of the retro card line, Gwen Stacy, and then some other ones. At one point, I even did a review of the NECA Marty McFly from the first Back to the Future movie with like the vest and everything. So that's kind of like how that kind of took off, and then eventually started, becoming more frequent and talking with more people in the community, and kind of like how I got here now.
Wow. I love that you kind of made the decision to do toy reviews, but you hadn't been collecting for a while. So it was like, all right, not only am I going to jump into this line, I'm also going to jump into this process, which is, it's kind of cool, right? Because it's almost like you haven't been jaded or you haven't like seen things throughout the years. It's like you're completely fresh.
It's like, it was like a whole new experience for sure. It's like, well, geez, I didn't know like all these different lines existed and like all these different, companies and stuff. And so it's like slowly just like getting used to it and like learning about like different figure lines and which ones are good in terms of articulation and all that other stuff, like based on things that I would like to collect and knowing which one kind of makes sense for me, which is why like last year 2022 and even like kind of going into 2023, I was like, my goal is to try and test out different figure lines like over time on the channel, just to kind of see which ones I like the most. As of lately, it's kind of been SH Figure Arts and then Marvel Legends, and then still like some NECA stuff. I kind of have taken a bit of a break from NECA, but I do still like to collect like certain stuff from them, from like movies and stuff that they've released.
I don't understand what you said in terms of take a break from NECA. I don't. That's just like
no. So here, look.
He can't take a break from NECA.
So I say break. It's not really a break because they have kind of reeled me back in. It's just I had an incident with one of the turtle packs that I got, and it kind of messed me up a bit. And I was like, okay, I don't know if I want to like mess with them right now. So I kind of like just stopped buying a bit of stuff from them. But then I started seeing all the other reveals and stuff that they've been making, and I'm like, dang it, okay, so yeah, I can't really do that. There's no such thing as a break with a break with them.
Can't break up with them. So the mayor is sending in a very generous $5 super hat saying, hey Kirk, hot seats, here you go. Your favorite top 3 toy brands.
Ooh. Okay. Honestly, I think I just said them because I haven't collected that many. So I think I just said them. It would be Marvel Legends, SH Figure Arts, and actually, wait, hold up. Scratch that. I feel bad not keeping NECA in the top 3 because they are really good. But I'm gonna have to say Marvel Legends, SH Figure Arts, and Mafex.
Okay.
That's what it's.
And then what are your top 3 figures from this year?
From this year, okay. I always forget. I always feel like it's last year, but I'm pretty sure it was this year. NECA Alf was this year, right? Okay, so NECA Alf. SH Figure. As much as I like Toby, for some reason I've had a lot of fun with the Andrew figure from SH Figure Arts. So I would say that would be number 2. Number 3, Marvel Legends Black Widow.
Oh, okay.
And that was that's like a really good, the new one from the Avengers movie. Yeah, that's a really good
surprise figure. Like that was
good
balance
of
like
really good figure.
The items that it came with, the accessories, and then the articulation. So,
yeah, for
I
sure.
have to agree.
I've lost the thread already. Here we go. Okay.
Well,
good. No, yeah, jump in.
So we were talking about this in the car, right? So like we might as well, since already like Toy Chase brought that up.
Yeah.
You want to go into that question?
Yeah, I mean we can we can obviously jump around. So
yeah,
jump around.
So,
sorry.
Do you have it with you? Do you know
I do. So one of the things so Machu and I were talking about in the car and talking about for you, right? Like it's just obviously you do the top 10 every year, and what the best thing about your top 10 is that you get the community involved, right? Like it's love that, right? It's not your typical top 10, and you're getting to see other people and doing that part of it. But one of the things we were talking about was just doing like a year in review on figure lines specifically.
Mhm.
So we kind of had about 6 categories.
Okay.
And I'll fire them off, and I think everybody can answer. And chat, sound off. We want to hear from you guys too. But so, all right. So year in review, what was your personal favorite figure line from this year?
Whew. When you say figure line, like not the brand, like the IP or whatever, right?
I think we meant brand.
The
brand,
brand, yeah,
brand.
Mafex,
Okay.
yeah,
SA's Figure Arts.
figure arts.
Yeah.
So, okay.
All right, Machu.
What did I say? A Yamaguchi, right?
No, that's right. Yeah.
I haven't gotten on them yet. I'm hoping.
I'll
next
get you
year.
on them. Yeah.
I actually pre-ordered the Spider-Man, so that'll
nice.
be
Nice.
that'll be next year.
Okay. Should be no surprise from everybody, but mine's gonna be NECA. What is a figure line that you feel needs improvement?
That's a tough one. I feel if anything, like I said, I haven't picked up too much NECA recently, but for the most part, I've been kind of fine with NECA. Marvel Legends has been decent for the most part. I think if anything, maybe figure arts, just like really, I think head sculpt wise. I think if they could really like nail that, like for
It's a good one. Yeah.
other like live action stuff, I think then they'd be pretty good because they already have like the articulation for the most part, unless it's like some sort of hindrance or QC issue. Outside of that, like they've got that. I think it's just nailing the head sculpts. Once they do that, they'll be good.
All right, Machu.
What was the question? Repeat that again. It was
needs improvement. Yeah.
So for me, I was saying Mafex, even though it's a hot take, right? I think Mafex needs a little more improvement because it's so like with the comic line figures, right? Like particularly like Spider-Man, all of the Spider-Man figures, they've all been the same. I feel like it's the same buck that they can just keep reusing over and over again. And I feel like the Marvel Legends figures are starting to catch up slightly. Like the price point isn't. It's not like just
the gap is starting to close.
Yeah, it's starting to close exactly. Right, because we are getting that articulation, and we know that Hasbro could probably pull it off, right? But Mafex definitely comes with more accessories. I feel like Mafex, the likeness is there more so than Fig Arts, right?
Yeah.
Like I have a lot of the movie Mafex line, so I feel like those faces look better. But I think they just need a little bit of a update on their articulation. Just make it, sometimes they look too skinny too. I feel like.
I get that. So my needs improvement is going to be the same as most improved, but I'll break it out a little bit, and then we'll go into you guys' most improved. I'm going to go with needs improvement Hasbro, but I'm going to go specifically Black Series.
Okay.
Right? Like I just feel like we need more from that line, right? And I think they started a little bit with it with that the big video game box set that came with more accessories and more hands and stuff, but like that needs to make it into the everyday figures.
Yeah.
But and then I'll go most improved Hasbro, but I'm going to say most improved Marvel Legends line. So for obvious reasons. I mean, I just think the more that they're putting out, the better and better they seem to be doing. So especially like, I keep going back to this figure. But like
Peter Parker?
Yeah. The cartoon Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Top notch. Oh. All right, Kirk. What did I say? Oh, most improved.
Most improved.
What are you thinking? Yeah.
I think I kind of side with you here as well in regards to Marvel Legends. I think they've been like catching up a lot, especially like again, like Black Widow was a perfect example of that, especially in terms of like female figures. Like adding that extra articulation to it definitely was like beneficial to it. So like making it stand out compared to all the other ones we had been getting previously. And I think if they keep stepping forward in that direction and even like adding like some little improvements here and there, because I think one of the figures I reviewed, I think it may have been last year or maybe it was this year. It's kind of a blur at times. But the Fortnite Sky figure that had like the ball joint articulation at the waist.
Mhm.
I think like if they were to integrate that with Marvel Legends, that's something that they could do, and that would definitely help in terms of like articulation wise and make it kind of like up the game a bit more for Legends and stuff like that. And even
Right.
just like all Hasbro lines, like it's kind of confusing because it's under the same company, but like each line doesn't kind of get the same treatment. It feels weird at times.
Yeah, Man B play kind of saying the same thing where it's Marvel Legends kind of closing that gap, especially that price gap. So
Yeah.
Machu most improved.
I'd have to say I agree with the both of you. Marvel Legends.
Okay.
Like I love that Final Swing Spidey. Even though I had to mod it a little bit, well, more than a little bit, but still, like the base is there, right? The joints have the range. It's just you needed that toe articulation and like some kind of ankle swivel, so that way you can hit those poses. But like when it's there, like it hits, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that reel that I posted yesterday with the Spidey, a lot of those poses you can't even hit with the Mafex. And I've tried. And I've tried. Like I have all the Mafex Spideys,
and I've tried. 9 figures were broken while I was trying to hit those poses. I get that. All right. So what line? Whether it is I would say whether it's a new line, a new company, or just one that kind of blew anybody out of the water. What was a standout line from this year for you?
Standout line.
Stand out. Anybody got the? Oh, sorry.
Which one did I say was standout? I forgot.
I feel like there's gonna be a lot of the same answers.
It's kind of tough. It's like for me, I'm like in between Legends and Figure Arts, but I think standout wise, I would have to say I think I'm gonna go with Figure Arts. I feel like, even though I know like Figure Arts is widely popular, it's not like an underrated line or anything like that. I feel like in terms of releases, like they've been kind of nailing like a lot of stuff in terms of like different licenses that people have been kind of waiting for, and kind of improving like articulation wise and stuff like that. Like I feel like they've been doing a pretty good job. So that's kind of what's caught my eye the most.
Yep.
So yeah, I think I would have to side with Figure Arts.
Okay. Thanos Copter jumped in and said AWOC.
I've been hearing a lot about them.
Figure Report said Mayfax had a great year. And then Archie, many third-party companies stood out.
Yeah, they did.
There were a lot. Machu, did you remember what we talked about? Or
Yes.
Jada.
Yeah.
Jada Toys.
I don't know why that kind of blew past me, but yeah, that is also a really good choice.
Yeah.
I think why? I think maybe if I actually had the figures, still was not like behind on the boat. I think I probably would have picked that. But yeah, the Jada Street Fighter figures look amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's by the way, that's another tough piece, right? Where it's like there's so much coming out and there's so much that we're trying to get. And we were talking about it before where it's like we still haven't seen, we end up getting some of the Street Fighter figures. I haven't opened a single one yet, but
yeah,
they have not hit our targets at all.
Yeah.
Like, they're still not available.
It's crazy. Because I think it was Nose Rain I was talking with one time. He had like posted something in his story. And I think he like one of the targets had I think it may have been Chun-Li or something like that. And I messaged him. I was like, which one was it? Like, which store was it? And like, are there any more? He's like, no, it was like only one there. And I was like, dang, it's like you would think by now that like there would be more stock of it, but it just seems like every time you go in there, it's just barren.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like I agree with Archie, but he said also like the other companies like Valiverse, Spirit Toys. What was the other one? Plunderlings are also really good.
I've heard a lot about them as well.
So, and yeah, Art, we haven't seen a single one in stock at stores. Not a single.
Yeah, we have to get them through other people.
Yeah.
Usually it's either like Henrock or 796 hooking me up, or Cheney. We'll fly out to the West Coast.
Fly out to the West Coast just to pick up figures.
Cheney hooks us up with one of these.
That's true.
Shout out to Cheney.
Always a thank you to Cheney.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna stick with Jada Toys too. I mean, again, I had the opportunity to mess around with the figures. I haven't opened them yet, but the other piece of it too is it's not just Street Fighter, right? It's Chester Cheeto and know, those other like nostalgia lines that are coming out.
We got to play with that at Legion's Con because Kenny brought it over, and wow, I was really amazed and happy that I pre-ordered that, and I think that should be converting soon on BBPS.
Nice, yeah. At Mega Man, that's right. You got Mega Man coming out from them.
Mm-hmm. I think I pre-ordered that whole wave.
Did you just want a whole wave through it?
Yeah.
Oh. All right. Figure line that has been most consistent. No pressure. Take as long as you want.
I'm truly trying to think. Because I feel like here's the thing. It's going to take me a minute too. Because I feel like in terms of as many lines as there are, like within like the world of figures and stuff like that, I feel like I'm still like on the tip of the iceberg in terms of what I've collected so far.
Yeah.
So I'm out of what I've personally collected.
Yeah, there's no wrong answer. We're not going to hold you to it. And, we're not going to kick you out.
I think NECA has been the most getting kicked out. Actually, no, J-Shot would keep me. But...
I'd kick Machu out. And we'd have a new co-host. That's no, I'm kidding. I would never Machu.
I think actually no. Even though I was joking, I think NECA has been pretty consistent this year. Yeah, in terms of like releases and just like the detail and stuff. Like there are a lot of figures that I've seen, especially recently, that I'm like, that looks amazing. Like the Prey figure, that looks great. What else was it? The dinosaur figures from Jim Henson show. Those are actually ones I want to pick up at some point. Those look great. Alf again, that looks great. But yeah, I think like in terms of that, they've been doing some pretty solid stuff.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. I would say that's what I said in the car, right? I said it's a solid student. Like they consistently getting like A's or 9 days on tests, right?
Yeah.
And I would say. Even as they branch out too, right? I mean, they've done dioramas before. We had the street diorama, the sewer diorama, though, that's coming. The turtle van, which damn near perfect. Toy Chase says G.I. Joe Classified has been consistently getting better.
Yes, they have been.
Figure Report says he would vote Jada most promising. Definitely wants to get in on those the Mega Man figures, and the next two was Street Fighter. Thanos says I don't collect Classified, but they have been looking better. There you go. McFarlane has been consistent. There's always a new Batman. So
I don't know. There's been a lot of Joker-fied stuff I've been seeing.
Don't forget the Joker-fied. There you go. So
I will say though that like this year I have collected the most McFarlane figures out of the years I've been collecting. Right, I've filled a whole shelf full of McFarlane stuff, which I was surprised because I used to hate McFarlane figures. But if it wasn't for McFarlane figures, I wouldn't start modifying figures for articulation.
That's true.
Right?
Well, I mean, and we've talked about this before too, right? The fact that they're just cheaper, and you can get through the plastic easier is one reason why you dive into them. All right, last category in category, the figure line that is doing too much.
When you say too much, what do you mean?
If they took a step back a little bit, they could
just
prove their figures that are already coming, like that they already have. Like for me, I'm gonna say, Fig Arts. I feel like they're getting into every property they can, but I also feel like you're not gonna get every single character. I feel like that you want. And two, they're going to hit you with the entry level price for the main character. But once they get into like the other characters, they go up in price. Like this guy. Right. And when I first got him, I was like, oh, he looks great, but he didn't move that much in the torso, but I had to mod the torso. And I know some people were saying that like you just flip the peg, but I cut off the disc that was blocking the because because there's like a disc on the peg, right?
Oh,
On the
okay,
inside.
yeah.
So instead of flipping it over, I just cut it out, and like I still get that range in the crunch. So, but like I feel like they're rushing out figures a lot because they never really have delays, right?
Yeah,
That's
not
true.
that. Yeah,
And a lot of people had issues with that early release Miles.
yeah, that was a big problem. That even Toby, because I remember we had
Toby,
talked
the
about
left leg, right? We were
we had
talking about
talked about it, and I messaged you, and you were like, "Wait, you didn't have any issues with it?" I was like, "Yeah, no, it's actually fine." Not long after, it just started getting loose on me, and I was like, "Okay, now I get it."
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm sorry I jinxed you.
yeah. I just stuck some paper in the socket, and I'm like, "Okay, yeah, it's fine for the most part."
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, like, the likeness could also be better too, right? Like the
Like I
faces,
said,
like you were saying,
hmm
if they just spent a little more time on
then
those
they'd
figures.
be good. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with McFarlane. Oh, Machu. Oh, Matt's gonna do a quick reset.
Okay.
I was prepared for that. Yeah, I'm gonna go with McFarlane. You know, we joke about it with the Joker eyes stuff, and just the constantly pumping stuff out. It's just like, again, love the sculpts. I think they look great, but what are we doing, guys? How many random Batman figures could we need? So
Because if it honestly, it feels like every other day there's like a McFarlane figure coming out. It's like as soon as because I think there was like one, I don't remember which figure it was, but it was like they had just announced it, and like not that long after it was already in stores or like selling or whatever. So I'm like, yeah, I think if they definitely also like took a bit of a breather as well, they could definitely take time to like improve on certain stuff for sure.
Reassess a bit, and then they have like the different sizes, right? Like you have the standard sizes, and then all of a sudden there's the giant characters. It's what are we doing? What are we doing? So, well, appreciate you playing along. We were just talking about it in the car, and just thought like it could be something fun to do. Kind of want to just jump back a little bit to your channel and stuff. And one of the things while we're getting ready for this conversation, you come across and are one of the most genuine, authentic people I feel like in this community, right? Like you're a good dude, man. Like you give that persona, and I love that. And when we went back and we watched your like very first video on Geek Effect and toy review of the Punisher that you talked about, you literally started that video with, "I'm really nervous, but we're gonna jump into that." And I thought that was amazing. Like it's such a human moment where, forget the toys, forget the review. You're just connecting with people there. Like that was just great.
Like honestly, I think that's like at the end of it all, like I think even if I were to like say switch gears in regards to maybe want to start another channel on the side or do something like that, like at the end of the day, for me, it's always about connecting with the people in the community and just connecting with people that love the same things that I do, and just being able to bond over that. And so I think like that's like the biggest joy, that being able to make videos on YouTube or make content on Instagram and like talk to people like you or Kevin or Wade or whoever it is in the community, that it always puts a smile on my face, because like I get to, it's like I'm not alone in this. Like there's people out there that like doing the same thing. I don't got to feel weird about it. It's just all of us having fun and collecting what we like to collect, and that's just how it is. So that was also like one of the biggest inspirations for me to like want to start the Figure Rewind, because I'm like, I just want to get everybody to put aside all the drama or whatever else that might be happening throughout the year, whether it's in the community, outside of the community, that's happening in life. Put it to the side for a minute. Let's all just bond over what we like collecting and sharing that passion for that in this video, and hopefully be able to do it each year. So
yeah, man, and you definitely hit that, right? I mean, every video there's always just a sense of lightness and joy when you start to talk, and you're right, you stay away from the drama, you keep it 78 points is drama. He literally just said the word drama. He jumps right in with it. Perfect. And Lethal Collector says, your toy community treasure, and 100% agree. One thing though that stood out to us too is production value, right? Like you jumped in there even from the beginning. That production value was there. Do you have any production background? Like, how did you? No. Why have that focused? Oh, love that.
I have none. Everything I've learned has been self-taught. this like
Respect.
since I started with the Lego channel, I've just been like it started. I think how did I start? It was I originally used to make phone or videos on my phone. I think I had like an LG phone or something at the time. It was not the best phone in terms of camera quality or whatever, but I was like, I'm just going to take this phone, use what I have, start from there. Just eventually, I think at some point I was able to find a video editor on my phone. So for the longest time, I was editing videos from my phone. If you were to go to that channel, and I think can't remember which year I stopped editing videos on my phone, but like anything I think prior to whenever I got, I'm trying to think. I think I had the camera or got my camera before I ended the channel, I think, or put a pause on the channel. So I was doing it for a while, like editing from the phone and filming from the phone. But then like whatever time that I had off to just be able to like study some sort of like tutorial or like anything like that to just learn like, okay, well, how do you go about video editing? What are like some softwares that you can use that even if it's just like free software just to kind of get you started, like which are the best ones to use and just kind of learning as much as I could. And all that information has just kind of like been retained over time and I've been able to like use it to further myself in regards to, especially like with the Geek Effect, which is why I think a lot of people when they first came across the channel and they're like, this dude is just starting out. Why are these videos like just like so good, right?
They're
And
so
that was like the
polished.
biggest, yeah, that was like the biggest question. And it's like, so I'm not completely new in terms of YouTube. I've been doing this for a while. It's just I'm new to the community itself. But yeah,
Right.
everything's been self-taught, and I think also the reason why I also have such a motivation to learn as much as I can is because also my mom is a teacher. She homeschooled me and my siblings, so that kind of like rubs off on me in a way where it's like I'm trying to learn as much as possible. Like just whatever like I don't know, let me
Right.
see how I can learn it and grow from there.
Nice.
I
I
respect
love.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, Matt. If you want to keep going on that, my bad.
No, I like that. It's basically like I started editing videos on my phone too. Like you like J Shot was there from when I started. Like, and then I picked up the camera, started editing on like Adobe Premiere, in growing from there. It was just everything was self-taught. Everything
Mhm.
like there's so much knowledge on YouTube, right? At the same time, you have to filter out good knowledge from the bad,
Exactly.
right? And I think you're definitely on the right track. I mean, you've been on the right track.
Yeah.
I love how we're like, you're doing great, kid. As we're sitting
And he's
here
better.
with 9,000 viewers less than him. Yeah.
Yeah.
We should be sitting here going, tell us more. I was gonna say though, it's kind of funny that there's this like a little bit of a cyclical moment, right? Where you're talking about starting editing videos on your phone, and Machu and I started editing videos on computers, but now I use
started on my
CapCut.
phone.
You started on your phone too?
Yeah.
Oh,
It was on the phone, and then I moved to the computer, and then now I'm back on the phone sometimes because it's easier.
That's what I was gonna say. Now we're back to like using apps like CapCut to make these
Because
things.
honestly, like to anyone, and I've said this like several times in the past, like to anyone that's looking to start a channel or like work on some sort of content, like just use what you have. Like if you have only a phone at the time, like don't stress out about, oh, I have to go get a fancy PC with all these specs and stuff. Like it took me time to go and like to save up and to be able to get that. Like I worked with the phone that I had. Like I said, I started with an LG phone, then eventually I think it was a Samsung Note. I don't remember which one. And then eventually it went over to iPhone. And so I've had like experience of both Android editing and iPhone editing, and then now PC editing. Like it's all just like a growth process. But like I said, use what you have and just use it to the best of your advantage. Because like even it was, I think it was so bad to the point that like whatever editing software I would use on the phones that I had, it would struggle because of how much I was pushing it to like to the further like its furthest extent. Like that's how bad it was. So because I'm like, okay, I know it can do more. I'm gonna try and push it to the edge as much as possible, learn what I can, and really get the best out of the software. So that's as long as you have like that determination and willingness to want to learn and
the patience.
Yeah, exactly, that too. Like as long as you have those things, you'll be good to go.
Patience. Yeah. Patience is the thing I'm struggling with. Bearded Builds has graced us with his presence saying, I thought this was a nerdy OnlyFans. We'll see. December's coming. December is here and people need money. So and I love kind of what you're talking about there. Like, you don't need a lot to get started. Just kind of use what you got and develop what you got. You have such a unique style too to your videos, your voice cadence, even the music that you use. How did you, what's inspired that style, or like, how did you develop that style?
I think honestly, for the most part, it's just me and my personality of how I am. Like I love talking with people. So like I think that's one of the biggest things that always shines through on camera. Is just like being able to, again, just communicate with people that again have the same passion for something that I enjoy, being able to share that information with them. And even like I said, like especially this year, my biggest focus like with the videos, because I think one of my biggest concerns is like I take a while sometimes before I review a figure, more so because I don't want to rush to just talk about it. Like I want to be able to have that like joy and excitement for it before I go talk about it. And also like, again, I don't like to push like the quantity over the quality. I'd rather do quality over quantity, because I'm just like, if I start just forcing myself to put out videos just because, okay, I got to get it out, the figure's just out. Like I feel like for me personally, I can't do it that way, because then like,
yeah,
it feels bad on my part, because like I'm just like rushing just so I can get views or something like that. Like that's not what I came here for, and I don't ever want to lose sight of that, especially like even at the rate that the channel is growing. It's like, just remember to always put your best foot forward when it comes to what it is that you're doing. And so that's been one of the things for me. But even with just like trying to, especially like this year, I think growth wise, it's been a bit difficult. And the only reason I say it's been a bit difficult is because with more people coming on board to the channel, there's more people that are like, okay, well, why is he not posting more frequently? So there's always like that pressure, right? And it feels
Right.
like, okay, it's like, I would like to post more. It's not that I wouldn't like to. It's just, but they take time. So it's like always kind of like in the comment section, having to remind someone like, okay, I think it was something the other day. It was this figure actually. I still have not. I had this since I think last year. It's not that I didn't want to talk about it. It's just so. That's also another thing. Like when you're collecting action figures, a lot of stuff gets piled up, and so there's just
we knew.
stuff. Yeah. So there's just stuff that's just there, and you haven't talked about it yet, and it's like, oh wait, I forgot I bought that like 2-3 years ago. I should probably get to that. And so someone messaged or commented on one of the videos, and they were like, I think it was in like your Amazing Fantasy review you did a while ago. You mentioned you were going to look at like renew your vows. Whatever happened to that video? And I was like, oh wait, okay. So what happened was it's like it's like sometimes I get new figures in, right, and so I kind of prioritize certain ones over something I was going to review, because I'm like, okay, I really want to take these out of the box and like really mess around with it. So sometimes a lot of stuff just gets pushed back. So I'm trying to work on that, to just like, even with like just finding new ideas on how to be able to backtrack to some of the older stuff that I picked up, which is kind of how I came up with the whole posing series idea, where it's like, let me start. Yeah, that's how I came up with that. Where it's like, okay, let me find a way to still be able to technically review the figure, just not in the traditional review way. Instead, we're testing out the posing and doing that whole thing. And so that's what allows me to be able to like open up some other figures that I haven't taken a look at yet, but maybe they'll still get a review at some point. But let's try and like still mess around with it too. So this way I can also like test out my experience with it, and those are things that I could even bring up in a review if I do it later down the line.
And it's almost like you're making it relevant again, right? Because you're doing the pose as opposed to these. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I love that. I love that we got the backstory and how that started. Yeah, Matt, do you have something? Sorry.
No, I really like those videos. I think they're really well done, and it's different from the traditional review. And I feel like that's something I would look at, right, over like, oh, this is how this moves. It's the same. Not saying it's the same cookie cutter way of doing the review. I mean, I also like watching those sometimes, but it just has a different take and a different spin, and that's why I enjoy those. Yeah,
and I tried doing, because like you said, like just like, well, this is how this moves, this is how that moves. For me personally, it was coming to the point where it was like, okay, certain, like especially like Legends, a lot of them have the same type of articulation. So like over time, it just
Right.
feels so repetitive for me. Where I'm like, okay, I don't really want to keep saying this every single video. Double jointed elbow, double jointed knees. The torso moves this much, that much. Like sometimes it feels like so repetitive. So it's like, but I think like one of the things that was kind of brought up, and I discussed it with someone in the comments like briefly. It was like, I get where you're coming from about not wanting to do it, but also again, like one of my main focuses has always been like, I have to consider the person that's watching may not be into collecting, and
Yeah,
it may be
exactly.
totally new. So it's like even if I may be kind of annoyed by it, I still gotta do it in some way, or find some way of like reinventing it and how I talk about it, so it doesn't feel too annoying for me or repetitive for me. But at the same time, they're still getting the information that they need, especially if they're totally new to it. Like this is the first video that they've ever seen on this action figure. Like I have to keep that in mind. So that's always like, again, like when it comes to creating content and just like making reviews, especially, it's like there's a lot of thought that goes into it when it comes like on my part of like what it is I'm doing.
Oh. I like it, man. I think you're doing something different, and and I love the idea that you're keeping your audience in mind, right? Like, yes, and something that we do too, right? Where it's like we want to talk to toy photographers and people like that, but we also want to expand on that audience, right? Like,
Exactly.
you gotta try to talk to your people. Here, he's officially out of the box.
Oh,
Ooh,
So
nice.
Yeah.
What do you think? How does he move?
He's kind of bulky.
He's bulky. I mean, look at that.
Yeah,
jacket.
that's
Look
what I
at that
mean. The jacket's hindering him a little bit. I don't know. Is that in focus? Not in focus? There you go.
It's yeah.
So yeah. I'm sticking with my Jamiroquai comment. So a little rat tail back there. But yeah. He's gonna. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I know we talked about this a little bit, but just the production value you do, and beyond like microphone or video aspect of it, there's the graphics and things that you put in there, which again feel like your personality coming through. And I know that you mentioned you had no production background. You just same thing, kind of dove into graphic animation and things like that, or where did
Yeah,
that
same
come from?
thing. Just self-taught.
Wow.
Everything that you've seen on the channel has been self-taught, pretty much. That's just kind of how it's been.
Well, the more we talk to you, I feel less and less like a real human being because I'm clearly not doing enough with my life. So when Matt had your page up, there seems to be this trend of, the big YouTube kind of like, I would call them
Thumbnail?
tags with thumbnails.
Yeah.
That's it. And a lot of people, and this is kind of just personal thoughts, personal feelings on this. A lot of people go for that clickbait, right? Worst figure, don't buy this. You, again, staying true to your brand, staying true to who you are, keeping things positive. I don't feel like you completely shy away from that in a great way, that you're not using the clickbait just to get the views. How does it make you feel though when you do see those, those other
Like those types of thumbnails?
Yeah.
It's honestly, for me, like I don't like watching videos like that. I feel like even like outside of like figure topics, like I've seen videos like that on YouTube where it's like, oh, this thing completely sucks and it's not good, and then it's like, oh really, and then you click the video and then it's like it's not even talking about that thing, it's just something totally different, and it's like,
Right.
oh, that's not why I clicked this video. I see why
Right.
you caused me to click. Okay, I'm not going to finish watching it. And I don't know if it's like, you would think like at this point they would kind of see like, okay, once the person finds out like it's not really even the focus of the video, I'm talking about something totally like completely different, like they're gonna click off, they're not gonna keep watching. So
Right.
why even go through the trouble of doing it, For me, I think like when it comes to my thumbnails, and every now and then I try to make like little improvements here and there just to kind of like see like, okay, if I want to change the layout, stuff like that. But usually I try my best to highlight just kind of like my initial sort of impression or thought on the figure, and just put that there in the thumbnail. Like even like for instance with SH Figure Arts Gwen, that released this year, the title or the thumbnail has like the words "This is a mistake," because that was my like initial kind of like wording or feelings towards like the issue with the leg, where it's
right.
like it gets stuck, right?
I warned you
So
about that. Yeah.
yep. And I was like, okay, this is not good. So I'm like, let me find a way to, you know, warn people of that, so that they kind of know what to expect with the figure. Not again, like it's not for me. It wasn't really a thing of like, oh, okay, let me try and clickbait them into it. It's like, no, this is there's a problem with the figure that you're going to experience, or potentially, you know, you might experience. So if you want to find out, you know, watch this video and learn. Like again, like even if you watch the video at the start of it, it's something I've tried to kind of like integrate into a lot of the videos. It's like highlighting certain talking points that I will bring up in the video. So like for Gwen, I can't remember what I said. I think it was like along the lines of like I would kind of cover like some of the details of the figure, articulation, and then like I kind of tease like and a problem that you might run into with the figure along the way. And it's like, okay, well, this is what they're already being told, like, you know, what to expect from the video. It's now just for them to like kind of get through the points. And even if they want to skip, like, it's never really been a big deal for me. Like if people skip, like if they're coming there for a certain bit of information that they need, they just want to know one part, totally fine. Like I'm just doing it just because I want to share my experience with the figure. That's the whole point of the video at the end of the day.
Yeah. And look, I mean, you know, and just even what you're talking about with the Gwen figure, right? You said this is a problem, and it's not. You're still being genuine. You're still being true, right? You're not hiding anything. Yeah.
And you're not saying don't buy this.
Exactly.
Right.
Like at the end of the day, like it's never a thing of like, oh, don't buy this. This is the worst thing ever. Like I'm not saying that. It's always like, even if like, for example, I'm trying to think I think the best example probably for this year, Marvel Legends Kraven the Hunter from the retro card line. I was excited for that figure, but then I didn't enjoy it as much as I was expecting to. And so I pointed that out in the video. It's like, okay, well, there are certain things here that I think they could have done to kind of make improvements articulation wise or just detail wise. Like there's certain things that are missing. But even at the end of the video, I'm like, although there's not, you know, like certain things are missing or like articulation wise, I'm like not enjoying it as much. I wouldn't say like this is not like to bash Hasbro or Marvel Legends. This is just me pointing out certain things that I think could be improved.
Right.
And hopefully that'll, you know, we'll see those improvements like later down the line when it comes to Legends and other figures that they're, you know, making. But that's really all it is at the end of the day. It's not like oh, Hasbro's the worst company ever, like that. No. Like
no. Yeah, it's your genuine reaction, it's your feedback, and you know, you hope that either somebody listens or you know, or engages with you to talk more about it, right?
Exactly.
So one comment from 16 Shooter, you know, he had it up there. Trevor says he just saw a video similar the other day where, you know, about the Headless Horseman. Title was "Don't buy this." Then he proceeds to praise the figure, and ultimately he liked it.
That throws me off. It's like, so why? It's like it's clear why you're putting "Don't buy this." It's like, oh wait, don't buy it, and then you start talking nothing but good about it. It's like, okay,
YouTube doesn't have an option for like, hey, was this video clickbaity?
I think so.
Like a report type of thing. Report it.
Not report, but like it would drive that content towards you.
I think I think their best thing that I've at least seen or kind of heard is like, I think if people start like, the more people I guess dislike a video, I guess if anything, or just kind of like those types of comments that are like, okay, well, this didn't really help or whatever. I think the algorithm or whatever and the people that are like monitoring the content and stuff kind of take that into account, and it's like, okay, we'll push this video less to people, which is, even though the only issue, like even though that is the case, negativity for some reason, negativity always kind of brings more people in, and the more you're negative about something, then the more views that it gets. I personally don't like that concept. I'm like, why just be negative just to be negative? Like, even again, like with Kraven the Hunter, like even if there's something I don't like, let me still try and find the good in it, but still also make mention of the things that I think could be improved and take it from that perspective rather than just bashing something completely. Because nothing's like completely bad or, you know, 100% good. Like that's never the case. There's always going to be a problem with something, but it's just a matter of how you know, go about it and talk about it.
It's interesting because you know, Macho, you and I were talking about this the other day, and
with this guy, right?
Yeah, with modding, right? And I literally asked you, you know, why mod it, right? Like you're paying X amount of dollars or a high end dollar fee, you know, and then you're like, well, if I do this and I do that, it makes it better. But I think you had like one of the best responses I don't know, I'll let you talk to it, but you had one of the best responses and kind of opened my eyes a little bit more to it.
Well, because obviously people put in some effort into making this figure, right? They designed it, they sculpted it, and somebody did the work here. I mod it because I just don't want to be disappointed in a figure. I don't want to hate it. I don't want to trash it. So what I do is I'll just try to find a way to make it better. Yes. Do I feel like, yeah, you shouldn't have to mod $100 figure or $100+ figure? That's true. But like if I'm modding $100 figure and I'm modding a $20 figure, I'm still just improving it, but still highlighting, accepting like the work and appreciating what was done.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and I'm not going to trash it. Like, don't buy this.
Yeah,
don't buy this. No, and it was really good, like insight too. To just be like the fact that you appreciate the work that people have put into it.
Mm-hmm.
You've already bought it. What can you do to make it better? And and it's you think about it in the sense of like, all right, there's sculptors, there's painters, people who've built these things, and if it's just a peg with a a circle on it, why take it away from everybody else? In terms of not getting those videos, Trevor just says, I thumbs down them. Just flat out. Yeah. There you go. What else are we going on here? So, Man Beast Boy says he's just terrible at it. Man Beast Boy, I'm scared to mod figures, so I'm
start buying these. Buy McFarlane's.
Buy McFarlane's.
But I will say though, I have not done any destructive mods to this figure. I only did the head swap and changed the trident. Okay. This thing moves pretty damn well, and I usually do like the articulation. Like I'll do the torso mod where you can get the crunch, but he gets a lot of good movement. Like the plastic is he gets a lot of range in all the joints. And I'm not even an Aquaman fan. I don't know why. I have so many Aquaman figures. It's just I want that representation of like that character on my shelf. Like I want the Justice League, right? And if it takes me buying like I bought the classic one first, and then I got the Flashpoint one, and then they came out with the other one that was he had like shaggy hair, I guess. That's where I got the trident from. But this one, when I saw it, I'm like, that body looks good. That head doesn't look great. Doesn't look like Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good looking head on a Legion, right? On a Mythic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. So I just try to reuse parts.
I feel like any long-haired character and bearded character will go well on a Mythic Legion. So
yeah, very true. Very true.
I got a couple of comments here. Wade Howlitson. I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Hey, look at me. The perfect figure is a matter of opinion. Some people are perfectly happy with another figure as it comes, and for some people, it'll never have enough. I agree with that. I agree. Yeah. I mean, you can
100%.
Be happy with anything. So, as things change, I can't put down someone's work, even if it comes from a major company. I don't buy all the lines, but to crap on them, not cool. There you go. Oh, agree. And then it's just everybody talking to Bearded because Bearded is great.
Everybody loves Bearded.
Everybody loves Bearded. Talking about collecting, and I know that you mentioned Marvel Legends and S Figure Arts. Let's just go with that.
Yeah.
What are some of the lines or your biggest lines that you collect?
Legends, Figure Arts, and again, I would have to say, I guess NECA. I think those are like the three that I had the most stuff from. I'm still trying to like slowly like work up like my Mayfix collection. Yeah. Just imports in general, just from like other lines and stuff like that. Third party is also something else that I want to get into. It's just a matter of like which ones. So
yeah. And what characters and stuff, like, are you for Legends, are you strictly comic book, you MCU, do you do both?
So for a bit it was kind of both. As of late I've tried to like kind of avoid the MCU stuff from Legends for the most part. It's like it's something about the comic book style characters that I really just like like, especially the colors and the vibrancy and just like all that
Mhm.
stuff. And having that on the shelf to me just looks cool. I like how they look. So um, I've
I
kind
feel
of
like I feel like the
Mhm.
comics will last longer,
Yeah,
right? They'll have that presence for a longer period of time,
that
as
too.
opposed to like like the end game stuff. They're
Yeah.
they were they were awesome for like 2 years,
hmm And now
right?
it's like there's new stuff. So
Yeah.
it's like I think the only thing MCU related that I've done a full wave for was Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and that's because I really
Oh,
enjoyed that movie. And so I think it was like directly. I think it was directly after it. Actually, no. I think I picked up Shang-Chi's figure. I picked that up before seeing the movie. Then after I saw the movie, it's like, okay, I really need to get everyone else from this movie right, like as soon as possible. So I
Yeah.
think I immediately ordered when we like after I saw the movie. And then the other ones I just kind of gradually picked them up. I think the last one I was able to or ended up getting was Katie. I think it was like on a Whatnot stream or something. Someone was selling it, and for like dirt cheap, they were like, I just kind of have it sitting here. I don't really want it. I'm like, oh, I will definitely take that because I really enjoyed this movie. So yeah.
I had to take Whatnot off my phone. There was
Yeah, it's no longer on my phone either. It's no longer on my
too
phone.
many insomnia nights where you're like, I need this.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I think there was like, what was I bought? I don't remember honestly. It was something I bought from there, and I was like, oh, I gotta get it just to get it because it was just that rush of like bidding on something and like potentially being able to outbid someone and win it. And I was like, but did I really need that? Like, do I actually care to open this anytime soon? And I was like, no, okay, let me just go sell it off and just get it out of my space. I don't need it.
What?
But yeah,
What's the Dario? What about us? What about us?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like,
Can I just show this Kurt Angle
Yeah.
face?
Of course. Go full screen there. What are you doing?
Like he just won the title and he's crying.
He took it
I gotta
away
say,
from 2099.
these ultimates are their faces, like the expressions I really dig as a wrestling fan.
Nice.
So
That is it. That is an interesting. Is he actually like crying to some degree, or is it?
yeah, he's crying. It's his
Oh,
crying
yeah.
face.
Came with a crying face. That's new. All right.
that's cool.
Well, dig
That just
that.
reminded me. Matthew showed that on camera, and I don't know. I got to see if I can find it because I saw that. I think it's the same line. Did Mr. T?
Yes.
So yeah, at some point I would like to get that because I do like Mr. T.
Mm-hmm.
I love the A Team. I'm hoping that NECA makes figures from that. I think maybe they have done in the past, maybe, but I don't know if like they would go back and like re-release them. There's a lot of stuff I think that NECA has done in the past that if they re-release it, I would definitely like be all over it. Like I was talking about it with someone on Instagram the other day. The Lost Boys. That's one of my other favorite movies. I'm like,
Oh,
they need
that's a
to
good
make
one.
they need to make some more figures from that because when I looked it up, they only did I think 2 characters. I think it was Michael and crap, the dude with the blonde hair. I forget his name, but
I want
they
to say
only did
Jack
those.
Bauer, but that's the yeah.
That might
no,
be it.
yeah, it's the actor at least. Yeah.
Yeah, but they only did those
Kiefer.
2, and so I'm like, yeah. So they only did those 2. I'm like, they need to go back and like make more and just like revamp everything.
They keep putting out the Thing and the Abyss movies there. So
Yeah.
I'm sure that they'll or an Aliens. I'm sure they'll eventually get to it.
For sure.
And how many Marty McFlys and Docs can we really get?
Yeah, because all they're missing, especially Back to the Future, has to be the 3rd movie. Once they do that, though, they're pretty much kind of done.
And the DeLorean.
And the DeLorean. Back to the Future. It's like
there's a 3rd movie. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a 3rd. Yeah,
the 3rd one.
With the train.
You erased
must
the
have erased it from my memory. Yeah.
It's the Western one. That's the.
No, I know.
Yeah. Okay, I was like.
Yeah, where's that insert sarcasm comment that was floating around here before? So, no.
I think actually on topic of Back to the Future, I think out of the trilogy, I would say the 2nd one is my favorite. I just really like a lot of futuristic stuff. So that's like actually being able to see that whole thing in that movie was cool with the hoverboard and stuff. So
I think the 2nd one is a lot of people's favorites, right?
Yeah.
But as I got older, I think I appreciated the 1st one more.
The first one is like definitely on top, but the 2nd one, I think I like watching that. I think I've watched the first and the second one more than I've watched the third. I think the third I can count maybe on one hand how many times I've watched it.
Wade with the comment of the night.
This is great. The
Kirk
way
is
Kirk
21.
it's absolutely amazing, man. Absolutely amazing. And I'm going to agree with you. I think the second one might be the more fun movie, but I certainly appreciate the first one on a couple of different levels now, especially when you think about like the production problems that they had and how they were able to put that together. Like that, that certainly takes its toll in how many times they viewed it and stuff. So
because one of the things I remember them saying they had like an issue with was with the DeLorean itself, like how it would keep closing on them.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah. That was a thing.
Or Marty there being shuttled back and forth because he was shooting his the other show too.
Family. Why am I dropping? I think it's Ties. I think it's Family Ties.
Family Ties. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with you. You got the younger memory. Yeah.
Is it younger memory?
Well, he's in his 20s.
53.
Oh, that's true.
At this point, it's older memory. But yeah. But I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, I'll get it off my head before I forget it. In regards to NECA again, I've been pointing this out like every now and then in my Instagram story. And I think I've mentioned it a few times on streams here and there. I really want for NECA, because I think they're the perfect company to do this, because of especially with what they've been releasing. I really want for NECA to make the cartoon versions of the Adventures of Tintin characters. I really want for them to do that.
Oh,
because I looked it up. There aren't any like action figures from it. I think it's like figurine type stuff that's like really old stuff. But if they were to do that, I think that would be a really solid line. I think there's still a pretty big fan base for it. And even if there wasn't, I personally just want it because I love that cartoon and I like read all the books and everything. So like even the movie that Steven Spielberg made, like that was also like a favorite of mine. So like I really want for them to tackle that line at some point. That would be phenomenal.
And
I like
he just
that,
went
man.
ahead. He went ahead and answered one of your usual questions.
Oh, like no, it's great. Look, dude, the outline is here, so there's no dead time.
Okay.
But yeah, no, dude, and I'm even thinking about, yes, NECA would do a great job with that. But in terms of like other companies, what's the Machu? What's the company that made those makes the Popeye ones?
Oh, Boss Fight.
Boss Fight. I feel like they could do a pretty.
I've seen
job.
I've seen that Popeye. That would actually they could probably do another one.
And I mean, even Jada, like let's just throw them in the loop
At
too.
this point, yeah.
Because
I saw that
what Jada do?
The Cyberpunk 2077 the Edge Runner figures that they're releasing, those look pretty good. And I just like started watching the show not long ago because of the figures. Actually, that's kind of what got me to like, okay, let me actually check out the show. And I started watching the show and I'm like, okay, this is actually really good. And then I just started playing the game as well. I'm like only like early in the beginning, but it's good so far.
Nice.
I never got into that. It was the game, right? As you said, it was starting. I didn't realize it was a show too, but yeah. One of the things I actually did want to ask you, right? I mean, we talked about your consistency, your quality. What keeps you motivated, man? Like I know that you talked about not needing to jump in first on stuff, but wanting to do stuff that you want to do. But like, like we said, you've been putting in the work, dude. Like all the videos you do. How do you stay motivated? What keeps you kind of just going?
At the end of the day, it's really just, again, like I said, being able to build a community and meet new people, just talking with them like that. This is my outlet of being able to do that. So any opportunity to be able to make a video and be able to talk to people in the comments or on Instagram, wherever it is, like I love being able to do that. And also just like, I think one of the biggest ways, like, because I think like as a creator, one of the biggest concerns is always, oh, well, you get tired of doing it eventually, or, burnout or whatever, where you just like don't want to make any more videos or for however long of an extent of time. But for me, I think the biggest thing that's kind of helped me avoid things like that, again, is always taking breaks when need be. So like, for the most part, I've tried to stay on track with, okay, if I could at least get one video out a week, but there are times where I'm like, okay, I don't really feel like making the video right this second. I feel like I need more time, just kind of take a bit of a breather, do some other things. So I'll take that time. I'm not going to, again, like I said, force myself to make it because, oh, well, I'm trying to maintain, one video a week. That's cool. But at the same time, if I'm not going to like mentally be there to make that video and it feels like I'm forcing myself to do it, it's not worth doing it. I'd rather wait and give it that extra time. Then when I'm ready to go do it, then I'll go ahead and do it. So that's kind of my approach with it.
And it speaks back to your quality over quantity aspect, right? Like
Exactly.
It's something you want to do and take the break as needed.
Exactly.
Whew. Take the break as needed. 52 episodes this year, Machu. Take a break. No, I'm just kidding.
Plus, we have some special episodes. Remember
That's
that?
true. That's true.
We had that conversation too.
Hours. I know that we're gonna obviously you're gonna do the top 10 or the figure rewind with everybody inside it, and Machu's been asked to do it. I've been asked to do it, which is great. And I promise you, I'll try to get that video done by this weekend. Promise I will have it to you. Don't worry.
Okay.
That was more for me than it was for you. Don't worry, you will do this video. So, what is your most anticipated figure of 2024?
2024. Let's see. That's actually a really good question. I feel like, even though, technically it's not 2024, so I feel like this is kind of a cheap answer, but I am really looking forward to the Yamaguchi Spider-Man. I think that's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, I know there's like some Mafek stuff. That's one. The Daredevil looks interesting. Like, I really want to check that one out at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I think that one would be good. And then when it comes to Figuarts, what else is Figuarts doing next year?
Everything.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of stuff. The One Piece live action figures look kind of good.
Okay.
Like, I'm interested in seeing how those are, because I did watch the show like thoroughly. I enjoyed the show. I still have to check out the anime versions of those that Bandai sent over at some point. But I really want to check out the live action versions and kind of see like how those hold up in comparison, especially to the anime versions that they made. So,
like that. Dom's already got his most anticipated of 2025, the Mythic Legions bear, which everybody is jumping on. So, do you Mythic Legions, Four Horsemen at all?
I haven't. No, I haven't done it yet.
No,
but I probably will. I keep being told to check it out at some point. By my friend Jeff, he's like, you need to check out Legions, like check that out soon. I'm like, okay, I'll try it too. I'll try.
I might have a few extra cosmics laying around if you want some. Just
Okay.
that I might have made a mistake on purchasing way too many of Trevor, which I'm still blaming you.
It's not that you're getting rid of them; it's that you bought extras, right?
Yeah. I bought way too many. That's what it
Gotcha.
was. I got caught up in the moment. I bought way too many. And one thing I did want to make sure we talked about, right? You have your multiple platforms. You've got YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Keeping up with all of that, and that's got to be a lot. But not only that, you've got your own merch, and you're doing flight stands.
Yes.
So, like, World Takeover 2026. What are we planning?
I really
want to make sure I get my spot. That's it. So.
Yeah. So like the merch thing, even that, like it was just more so of a thing. Like, I want to be able to kind of have just something extra there if people want to support the channel, the work there that's on the channel. And so the biggest thing when I did that was like, let me see if I can come up with a cool design that like isn't just slap the Geek Effect logo on there. Like, I do have those types of shirts in there, but it's like I want something that's cool, kind of commemorates the start of the channel. And so I worked with my friend Tyler, Hero HQ Hobby Hour, and he on the side, it's not like he doesn't go around advertising it as much because it's not his main thing. His main thing is like dioramas and props and stuff like that. But on the side, he does like a lot of graphic designing stuff, like for like on his own. So I was like, I know there's a bunch of other people that I could give this to try and like design something, but I want to give you a shot at it. He was like, really? I was like, yeah, I want to see what you can do. So I gave him like a few concepts that I had in my head of like, okay, how I want the shirt, the shirt to look, and just the whole design and like the concept of it. And he's like, okay, I'll run a few things through. What is it he uses? It's not Canva. It's Procreate. That's what it is. Okay. So he works through that. So he did a few things through there. He sent me back a few test concepts that he drew up. And I was like, okay, I like this one. Let's kind of go with that. And so he's like, well, I'm not. He's like, I'm not the best at when it comes to like hands and like that sort of stuff. I'm like, I don't care. I want you to do it. Like, I want you to do it. He's like, okay. So like, I think it took maybe a few more days after I kind of agreed on like the first like rough sketch of it, and then that's when he came up with the sort of origins shirt, where it's like
Mhm.
it has like the reference of the retro card line, and which is like the first figure that I picked up when I started collecting, and then just the Geek Effect logo, and has a sort of comic book inspired design, which I thought is like cool, kind of like a first issue or first appearance sort of thing. So
Yeah, I remember we were talking about that too.
Yeah.
With the comic book design, like the first issue.
So yeah, so that's how that came up. The flight stand thing, that was more so I think when I first started collecting, I don't think I had any flight stands of my own. So it was like, I need flight stands, and like I want to be able to like have a decent amount that I can be able to use and stuff like that. And so I started kind of asking around, like, well, how do I go about making them, and what's like the best like sort of material or whatever, or like tools that I might need to do it. The first thing I think it took me a while to figure out was really just the wire, until I went to like, I think it was like Home Depot, and I was like looking, and I saw
You don't have to
the-
say
like,
what
they
it
had,
is. You don't,
Yeah.
don't have to say-
you don't want to give away your secret.
No. It's hanger wire, I think is what it's called. Something along those lines. But they come in like poles, and I was just So I was doing that for the longest, and then the only thing, and I'm so glad because I'm about to launch the 2.0 version, which is like going to be like new sizes and stuff like that I'm adding to it. But I eventually was able to get the tool that I needed, because all this time I've been making them, I've been doing it with like a round cylinder shaped thing to try and get the bend, which hurts my hands over time. And I'm talking like I'm making like 50 sets, 30 sets, like for certain launches. Over time, it was like, okay, my hands are like, we get what you're doing. We know you want to help these people to have their flight stands,
Right.
but we need you to get a tool. So it was just here the other day. I was looking online and I was like, oh wait, I think I could use that. Why haven't I just been using that all this time to bend the wire? So I finally got it, and so that's what I've been using to bend the 2.0 stands that I'm working on. So those are all bent. I just have to buff them. Once I buff them, then I can launch the stands and stuff like that.
Well, Dom is responsible for your hands hurting. He apparently has 4 sets of them. So
yes,
Damn it, Dom.
Come on, Dom.
he got 4 sets. I think there was one time. I think this is my biggest order up to date. Someone ordered 10 sets. I don't know. I think it was it may have been during a sale. I think, actually, no, it wasn't even during a sale. They bought them full price. I was like,
damn.
Okay. I'm like,
Somebody was balling.
yeah. I was like, this is really good. I appreciate the support, and I hope you enjoy the stands. And so I even have like people that like return to the shop. They're like, okay, are you gonna like, when's the next restock of it? I'm like, soon. Just give my hands some time to rest. Just give my hands some time to rest, and
Yeah.
I'll get to it. I'll get to it soon. But yeah.
Wow. That's awesome. And I love that, again, that's something that the idea of it came out, something that you needed or you wanted, and you just, self-made, self-taught. You went to the store and did the research and made it happen.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing, dude. Just talking to you has been really great. I want to ask you kind of one final question for someone who's kind of getting started, whether it's, on YouTube or just kind of in this space. What is something that you wish somebody told you when you got started?
I would have to say, don't let anyone else tell you what to collect. I would have to say that.
That's a good one.
And the reason I would say that is because I think there are like some lines, again, some, like, especially if you go in the comment section or whatever, there are going to be a lot of people that are going to tell you, well, why would you pick that figure up? Like, this is not the best one. Like, this is the best one. But again, all that stuff is subjective. Like,
right.
For me, like, what I might consider to be the best figure, or maybe a nearly perfect figure or whatever, may not be the case for someone else. And I think, like, especially in a community as big as this one and in a world as big as we live in with all these opinions, no one's ever going to have the same opinion. So just kind of collect what makes you happy and what you think you're going to enjoy. That's kind of been, not even kind of, that's been my approach with all the videos that I've made on the time of me being on YouTube with the Geek Effect. It's been, well, I really like how that figure looks. It's from maybe a license that I enjoy, or maybe I really am kind of captivated by the articulation. Like that's how I started actually with figure arts. It was like I had no prior knowledge of Naruto or anything like that, but I'm like, I like the articulation on this. It seems like it has a lot of fun, like when it comes to posing and stuff, especially seeing like all the photos and stuff from people like Nose Rain and stuff like that. And I'm like, I want to give it a shot. And so the name of that video was like, I think I tried an anime figure or something like that. And so I'm like just kind of narrating my experience with trying this out and just like how it compares to detail, how it compares with articulation and all that other stuff. So just like I said, just have fun with collecting. Don't worry about like, oh, well, this person said I shouldn't get it. Like if you feel like it might be worth a shot, get it and test it out. And even if it's not, don't worry about it. Just, it's a learning process. It's just, having fun collecting.
It's awesome, man. I love it. And we've talked about your Instagram, your YouTube. So if you're not following Kirk and the Geek Effect, make sure you check him out. He's got his action figure rewind coming up on top of other amazing videos that he's been putting out. And just again, solid dude, like just genuine. The authenticity of you being 53 years old is just absolutely incredible. And I love that you even ended on something that's like, you ended on something that's like, don't let people influence you on, what figures to buy, but also check out my YouTube page where I review figures, like it's absolutely incredible, dude. And I'm so thankful that you joined us tonight. Thankful for everybody watching along, whether you're watching live or, on a replay. Appreciate everybody. Are you doing any like cons? Do you do any traveling? Do you do any in-person experience? In-person appearances? Blah, blah, blah.
I haven't done any cons this year. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that I can start going next year. I know there are like quite a few that people have been asking, are you going to go to? San Diego Comic-Con is a dream that I would like to be able to go there. I know there's New York Comic-Con as well. Legion's Con is another one I've been hearing to try and go there. I was very confused the other day though, because I was on Instagram and I got a notification all of a sudden. It was like, you've been tagged in this post, and it was from Dork Layer, and it said, I think it tagged me, and my username was like at It's Geek Effect at Legion's Con. I was like, wait, I'm at Legion's Con? I'm sitting in my bedroom right now. I don't know for me to be there. So I asked them. I still haven't.
Legion's Con is weird. Yeah, sorry.
I still haven't figured out what he meant by that. But no, like that's one that I would like to test out. And even just like different like toy shops and stuff. Like I want to come across more of those, be able to like do some hunting and stuff like that. I think it was the other day I did like a Q&A. Someone asked like what are some places you would like to go to, like to travel to. I think one of my answers was Tokyo, or like just like somewhere in Japan, because again toy shops, that's all over there, and I'm like
I think we need to plan like a toy meetup in
Japan. There needs to be something like that. I'm just like get the whole crew. Let's all just hang out in Japan and do some hunting. I think that'd be awesome.
I might have to take that break from NECA if that's what we're gonna do. Then go back to the beginning of the conversation. So
for sure. But yeah.
All right. Well, if you ever do make it out, San Diego Comic-Con, we did it without tickets this year, and still absolutely amazing.
We had a blast.
Okay.
Yeah. So would love to catch you in person anywhere. Machu, you're gonna be at ToyCon this weekend?
ToyCon this weekend in Parsippany, New Jersey. It's both Saturday and Sunday. It's their winter, like their big winter show, like their big end of year show, because they have two. There's one in the spring and there's one in the winter. Right. But I'll be at Chubsy Wubsy's table.
Okay.
And then the following week, you and I will both be there, but separate at DesignerCon DesignerCon, because there is a DCon, I think, right? So we'll be at DesignerCon in Anaheim. So I'm gonna end on this.
Wait, hold on.
This is Jamiroquai still holding the sticker saying, "Oh, what? Sorry, what?
Tomorrow.
My bad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I keep forgetting. I have to plug these now.
Yeah.
tomorrow Enable stream on Toying Around's channel at 9 p.m. Eastern time.
Right.
And then he is doing a fundraiser, marathon stream starting Saturday night and going through the following day. I don't know when. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to go on at night, but I don't know how long. And I don't know. Maybe I'll do like the really early shift if I wake up in time before I go to ToyCon on Sunday. But I should be on at the nighttime.
Okay.
Definitely check that out.
I was gonna say Kevin's doing that for very good cause and raising money. Toy Amigos will be a part of it. ACBA will be a part of it. I'm gonna try to sneak in while Machu's there too, or wait till Machu falls asleep on stream and then take over.
And then sneak in.
We'll see what's going on. But yes, and again, Jamiroquai, he is the problem. It is me. So once again, thank you so much, man. Kirk, thank you. Seriously, it was so good talking with you. Dude, absolutely. And you're welcome back anytime you want to come back on. Just
all right.
Just we'll send you the link and you can just pop on.
Awesome.
But yeah, again, thank you guys so much for watching. And no, we're not doing a show next week, right? I think no show next week because we will be
because we have
Con.
Yeah, you'll already be in the West Coast, and I have to wake up super early to catch my plane.
Super early. It's gonna be virtual insanity. So I will we'll end on that and appreciate that out of all of you. Machu, do that outro.